Hello, what is good, you guys? I hope you're doing so lovely today. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Morgan, and this is Portraits, where we focus on auras and I paint portraits of them. And if you're returning, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you back as always. As I promised you guys, I am going to be doing a soulmate reading for Valentine's Day that's coming up. And I wanted to do this to show you guys what it would be like to get a soulmate reading from me personally. So I wanted to do this in a pick a card format, and so I'm going to be painting an aura portrait for the both of you, and then at the end we're going to combine them into one beautiful synergistic aura portrait, and I'm so excited. Just so you know, it doesn't have to be romantic. This could be just like your other person, like the person that you are meant to live life with. It doesn't have to be romantic. It's just the soul that's meant to be on your path with you. I love doing these kinds of readings, and I do this personally as well. So if you ever wanted to get a personal reading, I can connect any two energies you want. It can be your connection to a pet. It could be your connection to a place. One of my favorite things to do right now is help people see what the energy is between them and their home. Oh my gosh, I love doing that. I love reading the energy of spaces. People have reached out to me to see what's going on because they don't feel like at home in their space. And I totally understand that. And so like when you see their energy and what energy their home is bringing, and then putting that together, you really get a really clear idea of where that tension is. So without further ado, I'm going to give you 3 piles to choose from, and you will be choosing from pictures of yin-yang symbols. And take your time, vibe out which pile you feel most drawn to, and it's totally okay to be drawn to more than one. And obviously, if something doesn't resonate, don't try to force it. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And I will go ahead and leave all of the timestamps for each pile down in the comments as well as in the description. And I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. Bear with me for I am chilly. I am outside right now. Let's get into this reading for you. So, before I even pull any cards, we gotta talk about this energy. I'm nervous to get into this reading for you. And I almost didn't want to give this message, but it seemed like such a prominent thing that happened that I couldn't not bring it up. So I was at my friend's house and I was practicing just like coming up with questions on my own. But the decks that I had with me in my purse weren't ones that I really intended on using, honestly, for this reading, because they were a little bit darker. The first deck, the one that gave me this message that made me kind of nervous, was my Dark Mirror Oracle deck. So the question that I asked, since I saw Mirror, I was like, oh my god, actually that might work perfectly. I was like, what energy does pile number 1 mirror with their soulmate? The first one that came out was Bride in a Cage, number 21. Also pay attention to the moon phase on the side. Bride in a Cage. Next one was Addicted, number 11. And again, the moon phase. They're literally mirroring each other. They look like side eyes, like. But I think there's something a lot deeper to these cards, honestly. I don't think it's as dark as it seems, because when I first pulled those cards, I was like, yikes. But I read what they mean in the book. So let's look at Bride in a Cage first, because it actually sounded pretty positive, I think. When we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a bit of this, a bit of that, a few kilograms of that, and also a couple boxes of another this. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced, the day is too hot or too cold, the kiss is dry, the lion limps softly and doesn't roar. As long as something is not here, but is pushed further along the timeline, we have the luxury to take it off of reality and treat it like a fantasy. The future should not feel like a cage, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, gnarled, rough to the touch, full of flowers only in spring, dense and damp through the rain, absolutely imperfect. So it's actually kind of beautiful in a very morbid way. The way that I'm interpreting it, and this might come out messy or might not make a whole lot of sense, but I'm going to try my best. So people often see marriage as like being in a cage. And when you're committing to one person, like you're committing to that person for the rest of your life. It's not meant to be treated like a cage. It's meant to show your devotion to this other person and embrace their devotion to you in the best ways and even in the worst ways. Like through thick and thin, you're not meant to live this perfect life. No one is. And there's going to be fights. There's going to be all kinds of disagreements, all kinds of, you know, obstacles that you run into that you weren't expecting, and things that you never thought you'd be fighting about. But like, you're going to have to face the battle with somebody. You have to remember why you chose this person to battle with. You have to remember like the reasons that you fell in love with them. And those are the moments that are truly going to mean the most when things get hard. Like when you say, till death do us part, like you're locked in. So Addicted says it's not about choosing the chains, it's about choosing them again and again. Exactly. I don't know why I'm crying so much. I also don't love that my hair blends into the wall behind me. It's whatever. Freedom was the worst of lies. I could have been a slaver or a slave, but I chose the latter. Addiction to something, drugs, love, company, evil, pain, safety, to making simple everything that can be deep. They have in common the feeling of being lost if we ever are without it. Freedom is not a friend, as it promises responsibility, failure, challenges. Freedom can be taken, can be broken, can be stripped naked and whipped and abused. Slavery is a much cleaner choice. If you give it all away at the beginning, how can they take it from you? So, how can it be that it is so easy to believe that freedom is an illusion, and it's so hard to feel that slavery is an illusion as well? That the sky has a limit, but the chains have one as well. The irony of it all, when we lose the desire, much before losing the will, to fight, is that actually is possible to reach for the sky even when bound by chains. I'm going to pull a few more cards, because I don't want to get too deep into this one specific message, but let's see what else comes through in a different deck and see if it's kind of following the same energy. This isn't a bad reading, by the way. I think it's actually so beautiful, and it's intense. It's very karmic, scorpionic. It's a lot about lessons in love and fighting the hard fight and waking up and choosing each other every single day. What can you tell me about pile number one's connection with their soulmate in this lifetime? Thank you in advance. Okay. Oh, wow. So, that's crazy, actually. So the first one that came out was Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. Then the next one that came out was Star Family. It says, you're part of a team of souls, call in support. So y'all were sent here together. You might be, and you know what I'm thinking about? You guys could be like, you could feel like you're very opposite of each other. Yeah, I think that you guys could potentially be part of the same soul, like, but you're meant to mirror each other in a way that is gonna piss the other person off, to be honest. But you're gonna show each other things that, you know, you need to learn about yourselves in this lifetime to become whole, to become that perfectly balanced yin yang. And don't, please, like, if you end up, or if you're currently in a toxic or, you know, dangerous relationship, whatever I'm about to say right now, you can be discerning of the safety of your situation, but don't let what I'm saying deter you from getting out of that if it is toxic. You know, there's going to be misunderstandings, but you're still going to love them, and you're going to do everything you can. Both of you got to do that work to figure out, like, yo, why isn't this working? Or why do we keep going back to these same cyclical arguments? And I mean, like, we're drawn to each other for a reason. So why aren't we focused on that reason? Why are we so focused on being right or being the loudest or being the last word? Communication is going to be huge for you guys in this lifetime. Like really almost like being in a cage with somebody that is your complete polar opposite, and you are truly forced by the universe in a way. Like, you have every right to leave. You can
do that. You have that free will, but something keeps telling you to stay. And it's because the universe wants you to embrace that discomfort with this person and see it as the parts of you that you're not comfortable with and communicate with it through that lens, with them through that lens, with that part of you being them. Communicate with compassion and listen with intent of understanding and not just with anticipation of responding. That's going to be huge. So I got a pretty good idea of the energy that I'm working with right now. I have a feeling that you guys are going to get really irritated with each other, but you're also going to really want to understand each other. Okay, the way that they express emotion is going to be very different from you. When you're hurting, or if they hurt you, or if you hurt them, whatever the case may be, when you're in an argument with them and they're handling it in a way that you don't like because it's not how you would handle it, reach out with curiosity because they want to connect, they want to repair, but they're not sure how because you guys are operating from two totally different spectrums. That's okay. But I think it's crucial that you guys don't shame each other for the way that, the other person is used to coping and regulating their emotions because they want to heal just as much as you do, right? But you're both speaking different languages, and it's all about learning what that language is in order to compromise and understand. And even if you don't understand the moment, there's so much more that can come out of just being there for the person. Like if they shut down or if they get angry, at least try to just offer a simple touch. If you have to be the one that takes that deep breath and just says, hey, look, I don't want to fight. I don't want this to turn into something that it doesn't need to be. I genuinely want to understand you, and I'm sorry if things got heated. I'm sorry if I came across any certain way. I want to understand you. Can we start over? Do you want to take a break for a second? We can come back to it. Try to make them laugh if you want. Like, just always remember the bigger picture. Always remember that it's you two against the problem, not against each other. Because sitting there and being upset about the other person being upset and not hearing you, like, it's, I know what that's like, and it doesn't solve anything, And if you truly want the problem to be solved, you guys both have to come to it with a clear focus of, okay, what's the problem and what steps are we going to take? What's the obstacles? Like, what are you feeling? What am I feeling? Let's recite it back to each other just to make sure like we know we're on the same page. And then let's get this figured out so it doesn't happen again. It's going to take a lot of like almost like separation, and it's actually like the perfect visual in my mind of yin yang, like because it's going to take a little bit of stepping outside of yourself and putting yourself in their position just enough to be like, okay, we're warming up and I'm starting to understand you, you're starting to understand me, and this is a safe space. It's not just like, this is how I feel, this is how you feel, and if you don't agree with me, then you're not listening and this isn't worth it and you're so stubborn, whatever it may be. You guys have to willingly and warmly welcome each other into that space and bring that safe space and, decide what you guys are working towards together as a whole, as a couple. I did say that this doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. I do get a feeling though that it is. But if it is resonating for, like, if you've already met this person, this could be for a friendship or a family member or, anybody. But there's going to be somebody that's really going to push your buttons, but you're going to feel so drawn to them and you're not going to know why at first because it might seem like you guys have nothing in common, but that might be the point. I think embrace people if you meet somebody like that. If you have already, lean into those connections that make you uncomfortable because they make you uncomfortable for a reason. And that's okay because there's parts of yourself that, you haven't learned yet. And working with that person is going to give you a chance to work with that uncomfortable part of yourself.
So, pile number 1, this is your finished soulmate portrait, and I really hope that you like it, and I hope that you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, if you could please do me a solid and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. And I hope that you have a week as lovely as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. I love you. Bye. Hello, hello, pile number 2. Thank you so much for being here. So we are going to jump into your reading. So we're going to draw some cards and see what comes through in terms of the energy between you and your soulmate. So I'm pulling from my Divine Nature Oracle deck. So what energy is present in the connection between pile number 2 and their soulmate? Thank you so much in advance. I'm already getting a very fun type of energy. I want to say whimsical. I think you guys are going to laugh a lot together. I think one of the things that you're going to bond over, two of the things actually, is humor and art. I think you're both very artistic. And if they're not artistic, they appreciate the art that you create, or vice versa. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm just going to take all of them. So, we have Own Your Power. I love that card. It's so pretty. We have Get Carried Away, number 16, and that one was number 34. Get Carried Away. Number 2, Radiate Self-Compassion. And number 27, Receive Your Worthiness. It's beautiful. I think this person is going to show you your worth, or vice versa. You guys are going to feel worthy because of each other. You might have come from backgrounds where, you know, it was hard to feel worthy, or like you were taught that you had to work to be worthy of love. This person makes you feel like you're just already worthy the way that you are. So now I'm going to pull from my Intuitive Whispers Oracle deck. So what energy is present between pile number 2 and their soulmate? Thank you so much in advance. And they teach you that it's okay to love yourself. Like, you don't have to fight so hard to be loved by everybody, because, you know, there's always going to be people that don't love what you do, and it's okay. And if you've been watching my videos for a long time, you're probably going to get tired of hearing me say this, but I'll say it every single time, every single reading at some point. People are allergic to flowers, and that doesn't stop flowers from blooming. People are going to be allergic. Let them be allergic. Oh. What is meant for you will find you. Number 31. At the bottom of the deck, we have Community Calls, number 38. Okay, so, this connection is going to show you that the right person will find you when you find yourself. When you are truly happy with who you are, and when you stop fighting so hard to look for that person, when you find self-love and you accept that, you know, like I said, not everybody's going to love you and love what you do, and, like, that's okay. But when you feel at home in yourself, when you know who you are, when you know what you want, that's when this person's going to find you. And I think that this is really going to be about, you know, holding space for your emotions and feeling how it feels, and allowing yourself to sit in silence without discomfort, because that's when you're able to bring your best self to the table, your most authentic self. When you stop trying to be what you think people want you to be, then you find the person that's right for you, because they like you for you. So these cards that say, like, Own Your Power and Get Carried Away and Radiate Self-Compassion and Receive Your Worthiness, literally. That all makes so much sense now. I do want to pull from my personal set of cards that I made, just to see what comes through there. And after these, we will get started on your reading. I mean, your aura portrait, and I'll dive deeper into that energy of the both of you. So what energy is present in the connection for pile number 2 and their soulmate? Thank you in advance. It might be very hard for you to be alone. It might be very hard for you to sit with your own feelings. So we have, this is what you're going through, not who you are. Exactly. This is all part of a learning experience. And it's not who you are. Like once you figure out, it may be a matter of like you've been going through something that you're trying to work through and heal from, and it's really hard, and you might be one of those people that feels like you need to have another person there with you to ease that pain. And I get that, because community is necessary. But if you're one of those people that you're wondering like, where's my soulmate, like dating sucks, and it's so hard to make friends as an adult and stuff like that, like I get that. I've been there. I'm still kind of there. But like once you feel at home in yourself, you learn what you like, you learn who you are, you take chances, you get out of that routine of like, I don't know what to do, and you focus more on the positives in life, like figure out what it is that makes you happy, what lights you up. That's going to attract the right people to you. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? That. Exactly. So live life like that, with the mindset of, what if this goes perfect? What if this changes my life? What if this is the best decision I ever made? Instead of thinking like, what if I fail? What if I look stupid? Take those chances and figure out what lights you up, what makes you feel like your most authentic self. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into drawing out your auras. I'm very excited. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. So pile number 2, I adore this energy, and I love this for you specifically because this person understands that like you haven't ever really been given the chance to be your true self, and they give you that space. They allow you to feel all your feelings without apologizing for them. They allow you to be your most authentic self, and they welcome it with open arms. They love your true self. They love your creativity and your mind and how it works. They love every part of your personality, and they basically hand you a bunch of tools, a bunch of brushes, whatever your medium is. They give you whatever you need to be yourself, and they offer you a blank canvas. They just allow you to be free, and you feel comfortable being around them. And so that balance, I really wanted to portray it this way in your aura, because I decided to make yours just so bright and beautiful and vibrant. Theirs is going to be more monotone and black and white, and they're not like that kind of person. Like they're not boring, but they like energetically give you that space to finally open up and unapologetically be yourself. And it's so beautiful. Like I'm so happy for you, because once you figure out what you want in life and you know who you are, you meet this person who allows you to do that. You are so used to kind of blending in or doing what's socially acceptable, and I'm not saying like go do crime because they'll let you do it. I mean like things that you might think are weird, or things that you've been judged for in the past. They welcome it with open arms, and they love seeing your brain work. They love seeing your thinking process. They love seeing you happy. And that's so beautiful, because like you have had a hard time being alone and accepting who you are at your core, and you've felt like you've had to blend in your whole life to be accepted and be loved and to have fun. Like you thought that you had to do it a certain way, or that there were people that were always going to judge you, and they teach you that like, yeah, people are going to judge you, but that's okay, because they're right there with you the whole way, and they're not judging you. And I'm going to cry. They love you so much. Oh, man, dude. So I also was drawing out these colors, and I noticed like shapes coming through that started to resemble a butterfly. Oh my god, I'm getting so emotional, but I'm so happy for you. Because you deserve this. And you deserve to have somebody by your side that isn't going to, pick apart everything that you do, or tell you that like you're not having fun the right way if you're not doing it like by the book or whatever. They're letting you figure out how you like to do things. It's
even down to how you organize things in your house. Like maybe you move in with them and you have this fear that, you know, maybe you don't fold the clothes the right way, or you don't organize things the way that is going to be cool with them. You've been worried so much about like doing things right. And with them, like, there is no right. There's no wrong. It's just like, as long as you're happy, they just want to see you thrive. And the fact that a butterfly was coming through in this is so beautiful, because that's truly like what you're evolving into, is a beautiful butterfly. And I'm thinking of that movie. I think it's The Bug's Life, probably. The caterpillar's like a beautiful butterfly. Whatever. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but you know what I mean, hopefully.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
But yeah, they give you space to like express your inner child, and they heal you in that way. And it's just gorgeous. I'm picturing like all these beautiful colors, and like just like it's like I'm picturing also those like Lisa Frank coloring pages, you know, like the felt pages, or maybe those weren't. Yeah, I think maybe they had the felt pages where it was just black and white, or just any just coloring page. It doesn't have to be the felt ones. I don't know why I specifically saw those, but I guess I was seeing like blendy pens. Do you remember those? And I think I was actually seeing the felt pages specifically because with those you couldn't color outside the lines, and so you weren't worried about messing up. It was just like they handed you all the colors of the rainbow and they said, go. Like, they offered you that green light, and that's something that no one's ever done for you before. Ah, my goodness gracious. It's beautiful. And this person is going to be your biggest supporter, your biggest fan. I'm getting like Virgo energy, but also Libra energy. Obviously, like, those placements don't have to be relevant to you specifically, but like they could. They're just coming through. I'm also getting Aries and Gemini, but they just allow you that space to, and I keep saying that because you haven't had that space. And so that's the difference between like the felt coloring pages and the ones without felt, is there were lines, and I'm picturing just like a really intricate one that you're so nervous about, like coloring outside the lines or making it look wrong, or somehow somebody has been holding on to your energy for a lot of your life, whether it be family or a past relationship, or even just internal fear that you're going to do something wrong. Someone made you believe that. And for the first time in your life, you feel free. You feel like you can fly. It's beautiful, pile number 2. I can't get over it. I hope that you found this person, and if you haven't, I hope that you do. But like I said in the beginning, like, it's going to take some time to find yourself first, and to not look for a relationship when you're not comfortable yet being your true self. Because once you allow yourself to feel all your feelings, and once you're comfortable with who you are, someone's going to come in and they're going to be like, I love who you are. Keep doing it, please. But you have to disconnect from all the other toxic energies that you've had in your life that have said it's wrong to be who you are. Like, that's not normal, or that's not okay, that's not socially acceptable, whatever. They're gonna, like I said, there's people that are not gonna like it, and that's okay. So with this soulmate aura, I really wanted to emphasize how much you guys complement each other, and I wanted to combine them in a way where you can see both sides, and like, you guys work so well together, and you bring out their side of creativity and they allow you to be in your creativity, and it's like they give you, just like I said, a blank canvas, and they just say, go ham, be free, be who you want to be. And for once you feel safe enough to do that, and it's gorgeous, and I'm obsessed with this aura. I think it turned out beautiful, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. And if you did, if you could please do me a solid and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and of course hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that you have a week as beautiful as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. I love you. Bye. Hello, pile number 3. Thank you so much for being here. So we're going to jump into your reading, and first I want to pull a few cards to get an energy for you and your soulmate, and then we'll jump into drawing out your aura portraits.
So I'm going to start with my Starseed Oracle deck. So what is the energy surrounding pile number 3 and their soulmate? I did want to say that I have had a song stuck in my head since I started your reading, and it's funny because the song is about having a song stuck in your head, and it's called Sticky by the Main. And I said these days you've been stuck in my brain, wanna play you over and over again, sticky just like a song in my head. You guys are fun. I like this energy a lot. Oh, got our first card. Loosen your grip. Oh, okay, interesting. So I was just talking about sticky, and it's like loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. Even in this card, though, I feel like this is just a good time. Like, it looks like they're falling, but it looks like yin yang to me. Like, I can still hear the song blaring in my head, and it just feels like I'm watching a music video, and they're just floating together in space, and it's like their own little world, and it's just beautiful. Interesting. At the bottom of the deck, we have double mission. Lightworker Starseed, serve the world by being you. That's a very different energy than what I expected. But it makes sense. So that's cool that came through that way. It is fun though, I will say. I'm gonna pull from my Messages of Cosmic Oracle cards. What is the energy surrounding pile number 3 and their soulmates? Please, thank you in advance. Loosen your grip. I'm thinking about like how I'm holding these cards even. Like let it flow. When you find something that excites you, go all in and enjoy the ride. Bet on yourself, take chances, reach your dreams, you've got this. Interesting. We get one more. For pile number 3 and their soulmate, please. It's also, I think it's about to rain here. Oop. I don't know why I said that, but you have the power to create the life you love. Remember that. I do think this is going to be a really fun, like if you haven't met this person already, this is such a fun relationship. And maybe they teach you how to let go. I'm picturing somebody like pulling you out onto the dance floor and like trying to get you out of your shell. Let me pull from my Fairy Oracle deck because this feels like a very like friendly, this could be a best friend energy, honestly. Like just when you needed this person the most, they show up in your life. It feels very pure, and I know it said addiction, but maybe they pull you out of addiction, to be honest. Maybe like you meet them, and this could be for a very specific few of you, but like maybe you meet them when you are in the process of becoming sober or just detaching from old habits. This one really wants to come out. Purity. It says, always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart, and within it you will find the answer to your question. This person feels like a breath of fresh air to you, and vice versa. Nature's signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to us continually. We need to open our hearts and minds. Little badgers. Little honey badgers with butterflies on them. That's so cute. I love this card. And there's a little otter. I don't know if you can see it over here. There's a little otter. So cute. And there's hedgehogs too. Oh my goodness. It's really hard to see, but so, and there's a squirrel. It's just, oh my god, I love that card so much. It feels very pure. Lots of purity in that card. I'm hearing the name Eric or Aaron and Sebastian also. Wait, those are Prince names. I don't know about Aaron, but Eric and... Wait, no. I'm thinking of the Little Mermaid. Hold up. Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Interesting. You could meet them by the beach. And I did say the song by the Main, so that is East Coast? I'm not very good at geography, but I like this energy a lot. I'm gonna get started drawing out your aura. I don't want to get too into it with the cards. I'm gonna feel out the energy as I'm drawing out the aura. So let's just jump right into that. Okay, you guys are gonna freaking love this. I love it. So I looked up, okay, don't hate me. Like, I haven't watched The Little Mermaid. I know, I've never watched it, but I kind of know what it's about, but I looked it up just to make sure I knew what was going on. But the way that it was worded, I was like, oh my god, this makes so much sense for this reading. So I'm just gonna read you what I found. It says, the love story between Ariel and Prince Eric in The Little Mermaid is built on recognition before understanding. Two souls drawn to each other before they even fully know who the other is. It begins in chaos. A violent storm tears Eric's ship apart, which, by the way, remember when I was like, it's about to rain here? I don't know why I said that. Maybe that's why. And Ariel, a mermaid who has spent her life watching humans from afar, pulls him from the ocean and saves him. As he drifts in and out of consciousness on the shore, she sings to him. He never clearly sees her face, but he hears her voice. That voice becomes a ghost in his mind. He doesn't fall in love with her appearance. He falls in love with the feeling of being saved, with the calm inside the storm. Ariel, on the other hand, falls in love with him completely, not just his face, but his world, his freedom, his fire. He represents everything beyond the boundaries she was born into. He is possibility. She gives up her voice, literally the thing he would recognize her by, to become human, knowing he may never realize she was the one who saved him. This is the tragedy at the center of their story. They are drawn to each other instantly, effortlessly, but separated by a missing truth. He searches for the girl with the voice. She stands in front of him, silent, hoping he'll see her anyway. And he does. Just not in the way he expected. He falls for her presence, her curiosity, her innocence, her strange, beautiful way of moving through the world like everything is new and sacred. Even without her voice, he feels her. Their love isn't built on proof, it's built on recognition. When everything is finally revealed, her voice returns. When the illusion breaks, he doesn't hesitate. He risks his life to save hers, just as she once saved his. Their story is about crossing impossible boundaries, ocean and land, silence and song, fantasy and reality. They fall in love twice, once in spirit and once in truth. It's not a love born from convenience, it's a love born from rescue, sacrifice, and the quiet certainty that somehow they had already found each other long before they understood why. Beautiful, so beautiful, and it's perfect yin yang. And I want to also emphasize the fact that they're coming from two different worlds. So I really do feel like you guys were drawn together by faith, because when it said to loosen your grip and that there were addictions and let God in, I really held on to that, because I think that that's exactly what both of you needed to come together in this world and just fall in love with each other and be saved, not only by each other, but by a higher force, a higher power. And the colors that I chose for both of your auras are representative of chakras. So when we look at chakras, we look at, so we see in the first aura, there's purple, there's pink, and those are your higher chakras, which focus on spirituality and your third eye and being in that higher realm of consciousness. When we look at the lower chakras, there's the red, the orange, the yellow, and to me not to me, but those chakras represent the root chakra, the sacral, the plexus, and those represent passion and grounded force. So when you guys come together, you are perfectly balanced and you bring each other safety both in this world together, but you also know that you're protected by a higher power. And that's where that higher chakra energy comes in. But you both bring it down and you root it in reality and you feel it through each other. And it's gorgeous and it's beautiful and it's powerful. Like, you guys are so powerful together. You'll also see here that I noticed like a little red dog and it reminded me of Clifford. I don't know if you can see it. I was trying to like outline it. And as I was drawing out the aura, like after this part, I really didn't want to get rid of him. So I kind of stopped early and I left him in because he's so freaking cute. You guys could definitely bond over an animal. And wait, I can hear it raining outside, guys. Oh my God. And it's, what is it? February? February in Colorado. So the fact that it's raining, oh my God. This is like the first rain of the year. I'm so emotional right now. Jeez. This energy is so beautiful. And I hope that you guys know what I mean. Like, you're the perfect balance of like one world and the other. The way that Ariel was in the sea and he was on land, and the way that you guys connect over spirituality and faith, and you know that you'll get through anything together. You guys are each other's best friends, and maybe you've known each other for a long time, multiple lifetimes even, but this blend is just so perfect and beautiful, and I'm so happy for you guys. If you haven't met this person already, I'm so happy for what that energy is going to be, and when you meet each other for the first time, it's going to be like fireworks. But either way, pile number 3, this is your finished soulmate portrait, and I hope that you like it. I think it turned out so gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it, and I loved this reading. I love everything about your guys' energy, and I'm so happy for you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, if you could please do me a solid and show me some support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and of course, hit that bing bong so that you never miss a new upload from me. With all that being said, I hope that you have a week as lovely as you, and I hope to see you again in the future. I love you. Bye.